If your entire revenue depends on meta ads, one bad click can wreck your numbers. High CPMs, high CAC, and scaling becomes so unstable. So in this video, we're going to break down how Pinterest and Meta can actually work together and the role that each of them plays in your funnel and how you can actually structure this for your brand to create really sustainable scaling growth, like compounding. What I have seen with my clients so far is that the ecom brands that scale in a very sustainable and really reliable way, they don't rely on just one platform. They structure multiple channels and Pinterest can really shine in its own role. Meta gives you a couple of things. First of all, fast feedback and a very fast way to scale once you know how to read that feedback because it pushes your content or your product into the feed of people who might be purchasing. But because of the creative fatigue and the lack of targeting right now, it's also volatile. And this is where the smartest ecom brands do something different. They stop treating Pinterest like another ad platform and start using it as a different type of traffic engine. Pinterest is a very much an intent platform. People come to Pinterest, they're doing some scrolling, but very often they're also doing searches to add to their mood boards or do some shopping or start a new product, etc. So Pinterest really captures search intent. It captures planners or people that need something visual, the visual shoppers. And especially now, to be honest, with search AI being such a big driver in consumption and people and making that decision together with customers what they should purchase, Pinterest is going to play such a big role in visualizing this. And Pinterest is really leaning heavily into that visual AI part, so I really see something big coming this year. At least that's what I'm expecting, especially because people on Pinterest are very visual shoppers. So this might become very powerful. If you're understanding those difference between Meta and Pinterest, you can see how their roles are kind of split. When you're setting up your Pinterest campaigns or using Pinterest for what it is kind of intended to do and where it really shines, you can really get that evergreen traffic from Pinterest, basically from having those ads and then whenever you're stopping them still being there organically. But also, if you're setting up those campaigns, adding a traffic source that's bringing people who have very high intent of solving their problem, getting a solution, or doing a shopping session for that specific product you're offering. So it is such a different way of a discovery channel, like where people are doing, like they're searching for something, but they're already like warm, they're already ready to do a purchase. So even though like the conversion cycle is a little longer than it is with Meta, especially for lower cost products, we are really seeing that you can be really, really profitable because you're bringing those people that are already showing intent for that's related to your product to your website, and you'll be able to retarget them with Pinterest, but also with your Meta ads. Where Meta is really that interruption marketing, bringing new people who are targeted by the algorithm basically, and because they're very likely to do the purchase of the specific product that you're selling, and it will push your offer and it will really be able to scale your winners. Because you're adding Pinterest and bringing so much traffic that is already showing intent, your retargeting on Meta will become way stronger. That will translate in a lower CPA or a lower CAC. It will really increase your average order value because Pinterest shoppers are way more intentional. They need a little more time, but they usually spend 2 to 3 times more on average on their first order. So like their average order value usually is higher. And then like depending on how well you're setting up your backend, you can really drastically increase that lifetime value as well because you're bringing such intentional shoppers to your product page and to your store and get them acquainted with your brand. So what I usually recommend is that, like, especially if your meta ads are already running profitable, you're going to allocate like a small portion to your Pinterest and start like with those really highly targeted campaigns, targeting those people who are ready to do a purchase, and then start looking at like your blended ROAS. So not just the ROAS on Pinterest, because the cycle is longer and it is very likely that your Pinterest traffic is going to be retargeted on Meta And then the last click ROAS is going to be Facebook's. So then Mark is going to be happy. But at the same time, Pinterest did a lot of the heavy lifting to get that purchase in. So you really want to focus on that blended performance and look at your overall, like, am I seeing that my overall ROAS is getting better? Am I seeing that my overall cost per acquisition is getting lower? Is my average order value increasing? And especially because now you're bringing in like your traffic in a new way, it will really help you get those numbers in a more healthy place. So the real advantage of Pinterest is not replacing Meta. It's going to increase, like, make your Meta way more sustainable, where you can carry those months where your ROAS will drop or your CPMs and CAC will rise. But at the same time, your Pinterest traffic, your Pinterest ads will bring in a steady revenue, and you can really carry those lower months. Um, and you will see it dampens the blow, like, not just because like Pinterest replaces it, but also it dampens the blow of your Meta ads because you're also feeding your retargeting campaigns. But it also boosts your highs and your winners, your peak months. And that is such a great place to be when you're scaling your brand. If you're setting up your campaigns this way, Pinterest will stop being an experiment and it will be really strategic. So if you want to get any help with setting up your Pinterest ads, make sure to check out the description below because we have multiple ways that we can do it together. And I'll see you in the next video.